the main part that I want to go first is you being encounter face to face to Jesus. I need you to share that, man, because that is crazy. Because you think about, a lot of people don't even believe in Jesus, right?
Right.
You had this encounter. Can you just share what happened?
Yeah, as best as I can. Actually, this was not only my first encounter with Jesus. This was I took a trip to heaven, actually.
Okay, all right. So we got to talk about that too. But okay, we'll take it step by step. Come on.
So I'm sitting on the side of my bed praying.
Okay.
It's the summer after I graduated from high school. And I'm really seeking the Lord, going after God, really just pursuing him. I wanted him to use me, but also during 2012, I just had this deep hunger to encounter him and to know him. And so I remember I'm on the side of my bed praying, and eventually I found myself in a trance where I was taken out of my body. I'm standing. I found myself I'm lifted up to this plane. It was a grassy plane. It was, beautiful. It was one of the most beautiful scenes I've ever seen in my life. After that, I see what looked like wind, but I could see the wind. The wind would come down and dance in the grass and go up in the air and then dance in the grass again. It was as if the wind was a person itself that was going up in the air and dancing. Beautiful, green, almost brownish sometimes, but it wasn't like a dead brown, but it was just green, brown grass. And I remember seeing the Lord. I won't talk about the form that he came to me. Just a lot of stuff was involved with it, but he came up to me, and I was terrified in the vision. So in the vision, I turn around and I start hauling it in the other direction, and I'm like, no, this is not happening to me. And so I leap over a rock, and I hide behind the rock, quivering in the rock. And before I know it, something like strong fascination and curiosity just got the best of me. I had to look at him one more time. So I peek over the rock. Next thing I know, I'm standing in front of the rock, and I'm standing face to face with the Lord. He didn't open his mouth. He didn't say anything, yet he spoke to me the whole time. He began to share with me who I was called to be, what I was called to be, where I would go, how much he loved me, how much he cared about me. And the interesting thing enough, he never addressed my struggle with sin.
Wow.
He never said anything about it, which was mind-blowing to me, because you would expect, in my mind, I'm thinking he wants to address that first and foremost.
Right.
But all he cared about was who I was, how much he loved me,
wow,
and where he was going to send me and how I was going to do it. He shared all these secrets with me of things that were to come in my life, some things that I can remember, some things that I don't remember, but I remember he said certain things to me. And sometimes even when they happen, I'm like, oh, he said this to me. Wow. And then, I looked at him, he looked at me. I actually ran my fingers through his hair, which is which is an experience within itself.
Yeah.
And then I remember turning around, opening my eyes, and I was in my body on the side of my bed again. And so that was that encounter with Jesus that I had in 2012.
Wow. Is this the same moment where you heard from the Lord that you were called to be a prophet? Or this was a different moment?
Well, yes, he told me I was a prophet in that moment. Yeah. But before that, I already knew I was a prophet. Just by virtue of being raised in a Holy Spirit-filled church, I had numerous prophets throughout the years who would come to my church. My grandmother's actually an apostle, and I was under her for years. And so numerous prophets would come to town and says, this boy is called to be a prophet. This boy is called to be a mouthpiece of God. God confirmed within my own spirit at times that I was called to be his prophet. And so, I had numerous confirmations. I was already kind of sure, but this moment right here, I would say was more than just saying you're called to be a prophet, but this was more so of I'm commissioning you to go forth and be my prophet now. Wow.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was insane.
I got to ask this just because I have to ask this, but what is his hair felt like? What does his hair felt like? What is that? What is that like? What?
It felt slightly coarse, yet it was still smooth and silk to the touch.
Wow. Wow. That's interesting.